2.5 years ago, I had a stroke in which I was in a coma and I came, very, very close to dying or to having severe brain damage. So the meditation was very, very real. I make a point, and I talk about that in the last chapter of The Law of Human Nature, where we humans are very good at fooling ourselves. We're masters at self-deception. And so when it comes to our mortality, the self-deception that we go through is, yeah, I'm thinking about my death. Yeah, I'm reading the Stoics. Yeah, yeah, I know I'm not gonna live forever, but it's not real. It remains an intellectual idea, it remains abstract. And
Mhm.
my whole point in the law of human nature is you want to take it to a next level. It is not an abstract thing, it's a reality. And the point is you feel inside of you what makes you alive. You feel your heart beating, your blood flowing, the pulse, your pulse, etc. But you also have death inside of you. It's also your cells are dying every day. You can feel it. You can feel it in your gut. And the Japanese, the Zen masters, particularly the samurai warriors of the 15th, 16th, 17th centuries, who got very deep into Zen meditation, they wanted to create that sense of getting close to death so they wouldn't be afraid of it. And they centered it in their guts, in their viscera. That is where the center, that's where you can feel the reality of your death. And that's, obviously where they kill themselves. And so the point is you want to be able to feel this reality, and you want to take it beyond just this kind of abstract idea that people talk about, you know and so, I had this process before my stroke of I would, I guess since I was a kid or I was young, I've always been sort of morbidly obsessed with death and my own mortality. So it's not a big leap from me, but I would always sort of imagine the day that I was dying. Now that's going to sound morbid, but I would say, okay, it's an afternoon. This is my last day on earth. I'm thinking, and I'm trying to recreate in my head the feeling there. I'm lying down, it's a bright day here, and I'm hearing birds chirping, and I know the end is coming. And I think about it and I make it as real as possible, and I've done it so many times in meditation now that as I'm telling you that, I can feel it. I can feel that sensation coming to me. It's a habit. I've practiced it. But then the stroke added another level where, in that moment where I was in a coma, I didn't have an outer body experience, nothing that dramatic, but I had some strange visions and I had a strange feeling in my body, almost as if my bones were melting. And so now that feeling stays with me, and I can literally find a concrete way of connecting to my mortality. The effect of it is, as I've talk about in the book, is that it heightens your sense of life. So the repression of death, the repression of the thought of your mortality makes you kind of paradoxically sort of dead inside because you're repressing half of what it means to be alive, right? You can't trick nature in that way. And so, you're not coming to terms with the ultimate reality, and there's a price to pay for that. So when you think about your mortality, when you make it real, then everything you see around you has a heightened presence. Okay. I know that when I'm looking out my window and I'm seeing this tree in the clouds and the birds, etc., it's going to be gone tomorrow. I'm not going to see it in 20, 30, 10 years, maybe, or even tomorrow, right? The people around me, my wife, my mother, etc., they're not going to be here forever, etc. They're going to be gone. I'm going to have to separate from them if I don't die first. So it heightens this kind of poignancy of life. Everything sort of has this heightened presence, and it makes you more kind of grateful for everything that you see around you. This is something that I'm going to go very deeply. I am going very deeply in my next book, and we can get on that to that later on. But the sense of everything around me is impermanent makes me connect that much more deeply to what is around me, that I'm still alive to see them, is basically it.